guys have Minnesota sports flowing in their veins. Mackie and Judd on SKOR North and SKORNorth.com.
Little scoop session here with our guy Darren Doogie Wolfson from the 5 Eyewitness News Sports Department. Joins us every Tuesday and Thursday for some speculation, some information, some takes. Before we get to some coffee, some iced, whatever that is, Dunkin' Donuts.
You know what? I could go for a Dunkin' Donuts iced coffee. This is McDonald's.
McDonald's,
which is
okay,
fine.
Gotcha.
But yeah, Dunkin' Donuts is A+.
We'll get to some Wolves stuff right off the bat here. But a couple things. The Twins, once again, the Twins avoid a loss. The Twins have only lost once in a couple of weeks. The rain yesterday. I don't know if they're probably not playing today either, just looking at the weather. But you can get your Twins tickets. They're red hot the last couple of weeks, Dex.
Yeah, I mean, how about this? How about 6-1-2 Saturdays, okay? No rain on Saturdays for Twins games. For premium giveaways and food and beverage discounts on those 6-1-2 Saturdays, $6 drinks, $1 snacks, $2 foods. Plus, the all-new My Twins membership is here. You can unlock incredible benefits, ticket flexibility. Learn more and get your tickets now at twins.com. That's twins.com.
Also, a shout-out to Dennis Kirk. Dennis Kirk is here for riding season. Today is not really riding weather, so keep that motorcycle in the garage. But go to denniskirk.com to check out over 185,000 parts, apparel, and accessories. Same-day shipping on orders placed before 6 p.m. Central, and free shipping on orders over $89. So check them out. Dennis Kirk, we appreciate their partnership here on Minnesota Sports with Mackie and Judd, denniskirk.com. Dukes, you got some information on the officials for the start of this Wolves OKC series.
Well, yes, sir. Hello, boys. Okay, so we're talking here, 10 a.m., give or take a few minutes, Central Time. So within the last hour, the NBA made the official announcement. It's not like I'm scooping anybody. The NBA puts it out there. Here are your officials for tonight. James Capers, Tyler Ford, Mark Lindsay. Now, James Capers was the official for Game 2 against the Lakers. That was a win for the Lakers, but the fouls that game were just about even. It was like 24-22, nothing atypical. The Wolves were 1-0 in the regular season in games that James Capers officiated. Tyler Ford, the Wolves were 3-0 in the regular season, games he officiated. Mark Lindsay is interesting. So the Wolves went 0-4 in the regular season in games he officiated. But here's what I will reference. It goes beyond this season. So January of 24, late January of 24, I went down the rabbit hole just a little bit after finding out these three names. A quick Google search. So the Wolves and Thunder played late January 2024. It was a fairly significant game. I get it. Middle of the regular season, dog days of the regular season. But this particular night, first place in the Western Conference was on the line. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander shot more free throws that game than all of the Wolves. Anthony Edwards post-game. This is the quote to Tim McMahon of ESPN. Refs were bad. Ant went in on the record after that game with Mark Lindsay as the crew chief, tearing apart their performance that night. Now, I'd have to go back and watch the 4 games in the regular season that Mark Lindsay was a part of. Was there anything out of the ordinary in those 4 games? Is there truly any carryover from, 15 months ago? But just interesting, that history, Anthony Edwards with Mark Lindsay.
Is that the game where Ant was walking off the court and the boom mic picked him up saying something about the fix being in? Do you guys recall that?
Yeah.
If you have time to Google, if you can pull up the Tim McMahon story, if you Google Mark Lindsay, Anthony Edwards, it's one of the first stories that comes up.
But
in fact, I don't even remember who won the game. The Wolves actually might have won the game.
I'm pretty sure that's the game where Ant was.
But SGA went to the free throw line a ton.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's going to be interesting. The SGA factor, the free throw merchant factor here is going to, and then does he get a Jaden McDaniels or somebody in foul trouble? Dukes, what are we spent a lot of time yesterday on Flagrant Howls kind of breaking down the ins and the outs of the series. My main fear on behalf of the Timberwolves is they can be a little sloppy with their ball handling. Outside of Mike Conley, it's a lot of unreliable. Now they make it work through other means, and Anthony Edwards becomes a freight train sometimes. And But they, even in a closeout game against the Warriors, they're just turning the ball over, and it's like 20 turnovers. OKC is the best turnover defense. They lead the league in steals per game. They lead the league in transition offensive points per game, blocked shots per game. I think they're second in the league. So they have all these ways to take the ball away from you and turn it into offense going the other way. And the Wolves were really bad at that early in the season. They've cleaned it up a little bit in the second half. But I think that's my biggest. If the Wolves are going to win this series, you can't do it turning the ball over 18 to 20 times per game against this team.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, Phil, right? I mean, heck, even Oklahoma City leading the NBA in charges taken. So if you think about just taking away possessions, how many charges do the Thunder take in this series? The Thunder are really, really good. I think about the game on New Year's Eve. So December 31st, 2024, both teams were well rested. Neither team had played the night before. I believe Holmgren sat out that game. So you might need to pull up the box score just to verify if my memory is correct. The Wolves had everyone. So we know that in February, okay, Julius Randle, Rudy Gobert, Dante DiVincenzo, those guys were out. The Wolves had success in February with Jalen Clark playing some pretty good minutes. It's a Jalen Clark series in some form or fashion. We're not talking heavy minutes, but I thought in February, Jalen Clark did a really good job on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. But that game on New Year's Eve, the Wolves led by double digits early third quarter. It flipped, Phil, snap of the fingers. Yep. It really did. The amount of times that OKC turned the Wolves over, ended up winning, which I think in the end was a clutch time game because the Thunder didn't play many clutch time games. I mean, 68 victories, and a good chunk of those 68 wins in the regular season were by double digits. This is a historically good Oklahoma City team. In fact, if they find a way to get through the Wolves, then win the finals, end up as NBA champions, I truly believe this. We will look back and say this is one of the best teams, a singular year, one of the best teams of the last few decades. Just look at their dominance in the regular season. So yes, you have to take care of the ball. They are so good at being handsy. So that's why I'm curious on how the game is officiated starting tonight. What is called, what isn't called. Julius Randle has to avoid trying to play hero. He's been so good. He's been so decisive. Can he continue to make fast decisions? If he doesn't, I think that could get the Wolves in trouble. I think what the Wolves need to do is not only hold on to the ball, we get that, but I think the Wolves, Phil, are better in the half court. So you have to avoid allowing OKC to get out in transition, converting those turnovers into easy baskets. I still wonder who is that number 2 on the Thunder half court. Now I get it. Shot clock is winding down. Shai can do his thing. He's going to get some whistles, get to the free throw line. But there's been some times this postseason that Shai hasn't shot the ball particularly well. Can you get him into a situation where he's taking some of these 17-footers, missing some of those shots? Is it Jalen Williams? Who is it? Like, you feel good about the Wolves, Ant plus Julius. When OKC is in the half court, I feel really good about the Wolves defense. I still don't get how the Wolves are such a significant underdog. Like, to me, this series, I wouldn't be shocked if we're talking on Tuesday, June 3rd, about a Game 7 on Sunday, June 1st. That this is going to be a long series. I just don't get how the Wolves are like plus 260 or plus 270. That OKC is what, minus 300? It's fluctuating. Declan, you probably know better than I. I don't get. I understand why they are favored. I truly don't get why they are such a significant favorite. By the way, Declan, did you find that December, or I guess it would be what, January? Was it January 31st? January 30th, 2024?
It was that referee, yes.
Did the Wolves end up winning that game, though?
Hold on. Let's see here. I closed the tab after we moved on from it. Couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you because I don't know where it went.
Right. It was January 30th or 31st, 2024. First place in the Western Conference on the line. You can't help but wonder that history. Mark Lindsay with Anthony Edwards? Is there any sort of, I hope there's not, but you can't help but wonder after Anthony publicly called out the officiating crew at Mark as the crew chief. I don't know. It's at the forefront of my mind right now.
What's the difference too, Dukes, as far as the Lakers had a big man that they wouldn't play. Golden State did not have size. You've got Holmgren and Hartenstein in this series. Now, the Wolves still have Gobert. But what's the difference now? Because this will be the first series in the playoffs in which not just one, but two actual big men will present issues when the Wolves didn't have to be concerned about that through, 10 games so far?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, Hartenstein is a guy the Wolves have had some interest in going back years. He's a fascinating story. Good for him for hitting the big paycheck there in the summer, transitioning from the Knicks to the Thunder. Yeah, I mean, the Thunder protect the rim better than anyone. Mm-hmm. And so you start thinking about, okay, you like Chet on Julius if you're a Wolves fan, right? You feel good about Julius having success against Chet, but Chet's got those long arms. He can recover. So if Julius gets by him to the left, does Chet get a block shot or able to alter some shots at the rim? Certainly Hartenstein, we know about Ant's issues finishing at the rim. So, yeah, that is something they are going to have to find a way to counter. To me, it'll be interesting to see what the Thunder do in clutch time. Hartenstein or Holmgren on the bench, Alex Caruso in. The Thunder haven't played a whole lot of clutch time games this year. The Wolves got better as the year went on in clutch time. I feel good about the Wolves' chances if it comes down to clutch time. So a game within 5 points, 5 minutes or less to go. And I get it. Hey, OKC finished off Denver a couple times, clutch time situations. But for the most part, I like the Wolves in those situations. So can the Wolves be in a situation, whether it's tonight or Thursday? Because I do feel like if you're winning the series, you're winning one of these first two games. Like I had a nice conversation on Sunday night with my good buddy Sam Mitchell, former Wolves player, former Wolves coach, NBA TV analyst. He's got the Wolves in 6. He feels like tonight is the game to get. Now, we can debate the whole rest thing, that OKC doesn't have to travel. It's a bunch of young guys. That game was done at 4:30 on Sunday afternoon. We're talking about a 7:30 tip-off tonight. 4:30 Sunday to 7:30 tonight. That's a good chunk of time. Sam's blowback to me was, Dukes, it's the mental stress. It's the mental load. Yeah, physically, OKC will probably be okay, but it's the stress of playing those 7 games that Sam really feels like the game to get is tonight. You head back here on Saturday, tied at 1, then you're in an advantageous position to win the series in his mind in 6 games.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there are some things to take, I feel like, from the Denver series and maybe the Mavericks series flipped. So the Mavericks, the Wolves went through that war against Denver, and the Mavericks were kind of sitting there waiting for them. And the Wolves made it close in those first few games, but clearly they're mentally, physically, they weren't the same team going into that Mavericks series. And they also had to turn it around so fast. To be able to sit and scout and get healthy and wait is different from last year. But also, I think from that Denver series, they went into Denver and they ambushed the Nuggets in the first 2 games. They took the first 2 games. Then the series kind of swung back. I don't think you're getting the first 2 games in OKC, but I could see winning game 1, losing game 2, the punch back. Maybe you start to fall behind in the series, but you've got that game 6 home game either to close it or to even it. And then going on the road for a game 7, they did it in Denver last year. They overcame a big deficit and they won that game on the road. So, I mean, Oklahoma City is the team that's trying to get to a point that they haven't been to. Like the Wolves were here last year. Like this is uncharted air for this Oklahoma City team more than it is for this Timberwolves team. And I think that's important. Agree.
Although like Alex Caruso won a championship.
Yeah. Well, DiVincenzo won a championship.
He knows what it's like. So to me, he's an incredible influence for OKC. Yeah. I mean, that Denver series last year was one of the craziest. That roller coaster of win 2 on the road, lose 2 at home. I'm in Denver for game 5. Denver wins the game. I'm thinking in the moment, there's no way the Wolves are coming back here for game 7. Like this series is over after game 6. Well, the Wolves win game 6. Then, yeah, go back to Denver, trail by 20 early second half, win the game. Seriously, one of the craziest series. When you look back at that Wolves-Denver series last year, just absolutely nuts. I don't know if I like the Wolves' chances, Phil, if this thing gets to June 1st. If there's a game 7 on June 1st in OKC, I don't know. Now, hey, let's see the ebbs and flows of the series. Let's see, where the health is of these two teams. But I'm just saying in the moment, if this thing goes 7, I like OKC's chances. I think the Wolves to win this series need to do it in 6 or less. But to me, ideally, you finish off the Thunder in game 6 at Target Center.
Can we talk about the rest thing? Because I think there's a complete misperception of the rest discussion. Because it feels like it's always about, well, game 1, the Wolves have been off. The Wolves, and they got smoked by Golden State, so it didn't work, or it's going to work.
I mean, they played really well against the Lakers in game 1. So which one is it?
No, but here's the rest.
They were off for many days before game 1 against the Lakers.
But, right. I believe they've had 5 days between series going into Golden State and now this one. Where the rest comes in my opinion, is not game 1. Like, that can be great. I don't know. I almost don't care as much. What I care about is the totality of a long series again, when you had 5 days off to start with, I think is an advantage. Now, and this is also why I would like to see, I'm not going to hold my breath because I'll die. I would like to see Jalen Clark play as well, because I think as we go farther into these series, and keep in mind, the Wolves still have 8 wins left to get to win a championship. I think getting some certain guys a little bit of rest in series, I'm not talking about a lot, would help you as well. But I definitely think over these prolonged series that the Wolves can use this to their advantage, but it goes far deeper, in my opinion, than just one game. OKC just played 7. They're back on the court quicker, and the Wolves, I think, have a distinct advantage if this is a long series, which I fully expect. I think the Wolves, Dukes, have an advantage as it progresses as well if they can use that.
Yeah, fair. Now, OKC's played 11 playoff games. The Wolves have played 10. But sure, coming off the grind of a 7-game series, going every other day, sure. By game 4, game 5, game 6, sure, it could catch up to OKC. Now, keep in mind, if this thing goes 7 all the way to June 1st, game 1 of the finals is on Thursday, June 5th. So there's pretty good separation between game 7 of the West Finals, game 1 of the NBA Finals, then game 2 is Sunday because of TV. So, after game 1 of the finals, it's not Saturday, it's Sunday. So you get an extra day between games 1 and 2 of the finals. So there's time to catch up on rest, recover, all that. But yeah, I get where you're coming from, Judd, that it may not show necessarily tonight. Now, if you're OKC, you might actually be okay with this. That, okay, you didn't have to travel. You had enough time from Sunday afternoon until tonight. You had the long layoff after eliminating Memphis, snap of the fingers, 4-0. You sat out for, 7 or 8 days before game 1 of the Denver series. Then OKC collapsed late in that game. That was the Aaron Gordon dunk. Was that the dunk game? God, these are all blend together, right? Didn't Denver get game 1 in OKC? Then OKC came back and won game 2. Do I have that right?
I don't remember the flow of this. I don't remember.
Getting
the flow
old,
of this
Dukes.
series. Yeah,
I know.
Age is catching up.
I'm
Quit
40
trying
now,
to
so
remember
yeah.
things.
Very much
Phil's
so,
birthday today.
Is it? Phil, happy birthday. I haven't been on Facebook yet. Beautiful. I love it. Yes.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Yes.
As opposed to 39 yesterday when you weren't a man. I don't know.
I'm a man now. That's right. Don't mess with me.
Phil, happy birthday. I've not been
Thank
on
you,
Facebook. Facebook is my godsend when it comes to remembering people's birthdays.
It's Facebook. Well,
Seriously.
that's one way to
I barely
describe
remember
Facebook.
it's my wife's birthday in 10
You
days.
might want to
I
set
think about
a
it.
second calendar reminder for your wife's birthday, just to be sure.
I think I might, yeah. Hey, Siri, remind me on May 29th that it's Laura's birthday the next day. Thanks. All right. Just told Siri to remind me on May 29th about
We heard
May
it.
30th.
It's good. Hey,
Yeah,
by
you said
the way,
okay.
breaking news, Magic Johnson has chimed in with picks here. Magic Johnson, the legendary Magic Johnson, one of the great tweeters of all time. He always has to explain things to the lowest common denominator idiot. Like, the Minnesota Timberwolves are a basketball team in the National Basketball Association.
And you hear it. You hear his voice while you read it, too. Like, I always read it really slowly in Magic Johnson voice when I read his tweets.
But Magic has the Wolves and the Knicks advancing to the NBA Finals, which would be, as they say on the internet, cinema. If we could get there. Long way
Sign
to go.
us all up, although if I end up in New York, I would think some combination, right? Because all the games are on ABC. So some combination from our newsroom. A good combination would be in New York for games 1 and 2, June 5th and June 8th. I've seen the viral video. Brian Windhorst, my buddy, walking out of the Garden the other night.
That was bizarre.
I mean,
weird.
Just ridiculous. I mean, a trash can thrown his direction, the taunting. So, yeah, we might need some security, Phil. So if you know some muscle, if we end up in New York for games 1 and 2, track down some muscle for us.
We'll send sports.
Jeremiah Searles available, Alex Boone available. We'll need some muscle.
They're more hockey fans than basketball fans.
Well, that's fine.
Guys, but
they can be security at any event. The Nuggets did win game 1, so they outscored OKC by 7 in the fourth quarter of game 1 on May 5th, 121-119. That was after OKC had that lengthy layoff following the game 4 win over Memphis. So I'm just saying, if you're the Thunder, you might be okay with a much shorter layoff, that you're at home, adrenaline kicks in, that atmosphere. I'll tell you this much. I caught up with Mike Conley Sr. the other day, Mike Conley Jr.'s dad, Olympic gold medalist back in the day. He was at game 7 because one of his other clients is Isaiah Joe, a guard on the Thunder. He told me it's legit. Like, he goes, hey, I've been to many arenas, right? And OKC for a playoff atmosphere is right up there. Yeah. It is the real deal. And he'll be there again tonight. Lives within driving distance in Arkansas, so he'll be there tonight to watch his son. He did tell me, too, he's told his son, hey, you got to be more aggressive. Now, that doesn't mean necessarily shoot the ball, but with your decision-making, just everything, with the way Oklahoma City can harass you, he thinks it's a big series for his son. I tend to agree. Now, it's as simple as this. You look at the game 2 loss to the Lakers. You look at the game 1 loss to the Warriors. Mike Conley Jr., those 2 games, a combined 0 points. He didn't score in those 2 games. So I told Senior, I'm like, it's as simple as your son scores, the Wolves win in this postseason. But he said it's a little bit more detailed than that. But he absolutely wants Junior to be hunting his shot tonight and for the rest of the series.
We will do some rapid fire scoops to close here in a moment. But North American Banking Company is helping to power this podcast all throughout the Wolves playoff run. 6 locations across the Twin Cities: Maple Grove, Roseville, Shoreview, Hastings, Woodbury, and 50th in France. North American Banking Company is Minnesota-based since 1998. Very friendly, knowledgeable people. They focus on personal relationships and cutting-edge online tools to highlight the safety and security of your account. So whether you're looking for a better checking and savings experience or something bigger, you're financing something, you're looking for help with the mortgage process, you're launching a new business, go to nabankcode.com/Mackey to learn more. That's nabankcode.com/Mackey. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. We've got a couple of birthday legit pizzas in the old Mackey freezer. That's right. I think those are going to go down during Wolves OKC tonight. Pep's Legit Pizza, that throwback style pizza parlor vibes pie that I think is the best frozen pizza in the game right now. That's my opinion. Stone-baked cracker thin crust, robust sauce, melty cheese, and several different options for toppings. I love the sausage and mushroom personally. That's my number 1 in the power rankings. But you can find Legit Pizzas at a grocery store freezer section near you for that authentic at-home pizza parlor experience. One more nugget here before we dive into the last couple minutes with Doogs. So this is the first, according to Yahoo, and I verified this on the Wikipedia Conference Finals history page. So
when I think about sources, that's it.
It is great. Yep. This is the first Western Conference Finals that will be played outside of Texas or California, like teams from Texas and California, since 1996, when it was the Supersonics and the Jazz battling it out in 7 games to fall victim to the Bulls in the NBA Finals. It's been almost 30 years since we didn't have a California or Texas team in the Western Conference Finals. So Warriors, Lakers, Spurs, Mavericks, Rockets, Kings, if you go back. Crazy.
That is nuts. Yeah. The Clippers even maybe somewhere along the way?
Clippers got in there. Yeah, Clippers represented against the Suns.
I will tell you this much. Most Wolves fans or media traveling to Oklahoma City are not traveling there direct. There is a connection in the state of Texas. So there still is a Texas connection to all of this, whether you're connecting in Dallas, like my colleagues Chris Long and Joe Lasar, who left very early this morning, or I know some Wolves fans connecting in Houston. So really, really hard city to get to directly.
You also, from what I have seen and been told, is you cannot buy tickets directly from the team if you're outside the zip code of the state, I guess.
Ticketmaster. Yeah. So, I mean, you want to go StubHub or
right.
One of those other outlets. Yeah. You don't want to go through Ticketmaster.
But the Thunder trying to shut us out clearly.
Mm-hmm.
Because they fear the Wolves fans.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, they do. Yes. I do know a number of Wolves fans who are making the trek that were able to track down tickets via other sources. So, yeah, I mean, some hurdles to clear, but there'll be a nice Wolves presence there tonight in OKC.
Good. Give us another minute or two here. What else you got in your scoop?
Yeah,
right
so, I mean, I'm rooting for Mike Inori to get the Suns job. He's absolutely in the mix, but also rooting, it's tough. My guy, Sean Sweeney, Mavericks lead assistant. And, hey, Sean and Micah are pretty darn close. So, among a handful of finalists for the Suns job, Mike Inori, Sean Sweeney of St. Paul. And I continue to be asked about the future of one Tim Connolly. So, yeah, I mean, do I think the Nuggets and Hawks have, put it this way, that his name has come up with those ownership groups? Sure. Do I think there's a scenario where Tim is leaving Alex Rodriguez and DeMarc Lowry? No, I have not heard anything to suggest that Tim Connolly would jump on an offer from another team. So I think, regardless of how the rest of this Wolves season goes, if you're in the boat of, hey, Tim's done a really good job, you want him to remain in place, I like the chances of Tim Connolly being here for the 25-26 season. Just got an email about St. Thomas men's and women's hockey, the opening of the Lee and Penny Anderson Arena, October 24th is the date, Friday, October 24th. The Tommy's hockey programs will host Providence. So the first events in the new St. Thomas Arena, men's and women's hockey games, St. Thomas against Providence. Otherwise, Declan, we bonded in the Twins clubhouse on Monday. Matt Wallner told me he's on track to start a rehab assignment tomorrow in St. Paul. I'll tell you this much. I mean, Matt even admitted it to me. He goes, I didn't think it would be this soon. Like, I don't think anybody thought
it wasn't official was the word after Matt said that, but I think it's track. He's going to run the bases today, and then he'll.
Well, I don't think he's running any bases today.
That's also true.
He's going to slip and rip that hamstring.
He's going to run that concourse around the lower bowl of the target.
So, I mean, the way to properly say it is Matt told us he's on track. Yes, the team has not confirmed any of this, but he also admitted, hey,
the team knows.
Like, never in a million years did he think that on May 21st it was even a possibility, even a remote possibility, that he would begin a rehab assignment. Now, he'll need some time whenever that rehab assignment begins. It's not like he's back in the Twins lineup on, Saturday against the Royals. But, it tells us, I mean, if you had asked me 2 weeks ago, I would have told you mid to late June for a Matt Wallner return. So certainly encouraging hearing from Matt where things stand with his hamstring injury.
Darren Doogie Wolfson, everyone, from the 5 Eyewitness News Sports Department. All right.
All right,
Let's
boys.
Play some basketball.
Enjoy the game tonight. Who is the X factor?
Dante DiVincenzo.
Yeah, I think it is. Agree.
If he pours in some threes, if he outplays Alex Caruso in this series, that's a game changer for the Wolves. Totally different value that they bring.
Would agree. I think for OKC, it might be Aaron Wiggins.
Okay. The other Wiggins.
But I do think Caruso, I mean, it's either Chet or Hartenstein off the court, clutch time. So, I mean, Caruso is going to be on the court in clutch time. Tell you what, I love Jalen Williams. I'm not sure he's a max player, but dang, not the Arkansas one, the Santa Clara one. The small
they lead the league in Jalen Williams is for sure.
OKC. Yeah. But yeah, I'm a big Jalen Williams fan. But I still think the Wolves have the third best player in the series. We can debate who the best player is, SGA or Ant, but I do think with Julius Randle playing at this level, the Wolves are in good shape having the third best player.
Yep. Amen. All right. We'll see what happens. We'll talk again on Thursday. Darren Doogie Wolfson, take care, buddy.
Okay.
All right.
Take it easy, boys. Phil, happy
Sports.
birthday. Have a great day.
Thank you. Appreciate
see
you
ya.
guys. I'm a man. I'm 40. Damn it.